Hi, my name is Debra L. Welty. I am a certified teacher of decorative art at Jubilee Junction Art Studio. My website is qualityart.com. I have heard a lot of people want to learn to paint a rose, but they're afraid. They think they're really complicated. So I am going to talk you through the process that I use to paint a rose. You can see here's one nice simple rose that I just painted white on black. And I give my students a worksheet so that they can understand a rose. You need to understand the way a rose is structured, or basically the anatomy of a rose. Just like the old masters studied people's bone structure and muscle and tissue and the way they were formed so they could paint people better, you need to do that to understand a rose, and then you won't be so afraid when you go to paint it. So what I have here is, this is the rose, and you need to look, just focus in on the center here and see that the very first petal comes up and it wraps around, almost like if you would take a piece of paper and wrap it around like this. If I can get a hold of it here. And it's attached here, down in here, but it wraps all around. And there's a hidden part back there that I've drawn with dotted lines that you can't see, but it's attached to the stem. Every petal is attached to the stem. You keep that in mind as you're painting. So we paint the first part up and around and around. And I have drawn a rose on here, and you can find out how to put patterns on one of my other little video clips. And I am just going to use DecoArt So Soft Pearl fabric paint in white, and a number 0 Sharp 300 soft white nylon brush, and I will start right here with the center. I'm loading the paint right on the bottom half of my brush, and I press the paint in because I want to keep a sharp chisel edge. And then the strokes that I use, I will be holding my brush straight up and down, and I'm going to draw this line. And it's going to take a couple coats of paint because with this being pearlized, it isn't as bright as regular white. So I've drawn the first line that was indicated here on my chart. And then I'm going to come around here with that line. This is the top of the very inner petal. And it's going to be the brightest. It's where it's going to be catching the light. And then I am going to pull my paint. This is a technique that I like to use. I am leaving the black background show through as my shading. And I pull that around, and I'm aiming it towards this very center here that goes down in behind and is attached to this stem. So I will not be painting down in there. I just make a few little strokes with my white Shimmering Pearls paint. I use small amounts of paint to create a medium value, more paint to create a lighter or brighter value, and basically no paint to create the darkest value of this rose. And I'm not going to be able to get the whole rose painted on this little short clip, but I will have clip number 2 so you can see the rest of it. But we will continue on around, all the way around this first section that we see indicated here. So we've gone around that part, and now we're wrapping around, and we will be connecting here. And remember, I said it goes all the way around, connects there, wraps on around up to here, and it will end up continuing on. And it just keeps unrolling and unrolling and unrolling. What I would recommend is that you take a real rose. Get a real rose if you have one, or go to the florists, or maybe even a silk rose, and study how the petals are attached so that you can know how to do that. And I will check with you in the next segment.